Hey guys, welcome back to the Crooked River and Eastern Railroad. Just a little video today. Disclosure, I'm a knucklehead. So I got that new scale train 40-3. I did a nice review video on it. I love it. Had it in a consist. Thought it was speed matched. Must not have been speed matched 100%. My own dumbassery. Anyways, all 6 wheels have flat spots. So I must have been getting drugged just enough. So, you know, hard lesson to learn. Problem is I've never had a scale trains apart. So I'm gonna kind of go over that. I called them. I was emailing with them at first. Had some time off today, so I gave them a call. I talked to Mark McAllister over there. Great guy. Walked me through how to take things apart. First asked me if I was comfortable doing it. He was more than willing to have me ship it back to him, and then they would work on it, you know, and we would go from there. But I'm pretty comfortable working on these things. When I attempted to take it apart, the one truck, when you take the side frames off, you can't just take them off like the older style locomotives. The way the clips are, you break the clips off, and then it's they don't really want to stay on right. So I'm gonna need to get some new side frames for the trucks on the back. Anyways, he walked me through getting the wheel sets out of the rear. But now, so I don't break the other truck, first, of course, I got the shell off. I mean, it's basically just removing the coupler boxes on each end. And the nice thing about scale trains is there's nothing in the shell. At least on most of the, all your light wires and everything are all in the board, are all in the weights, and there you go. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to worry about the shell hanging on and all that stuff like you do with some other brands. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to show you. I'm learning this as I'm making this video, to be honest. Now the unfortunate thing, which I do kind of find to be a little bit of a design, I don't know if it's a design flaw, but it's kind of a pain, in my opinion, is having to unsolder from the board the truck wires. You have to kind of remove the whole truck assembly in order to get at the clips that unclip the bottom plate. Because if you do try to take those out, as you can see, I broke these little tabs off right here and right here. There's these little tabs and they're held in, and I'll show you here. You got 6 clips, 3 on each side. And you got these posts. I don't know if you can see the posts, something to point with. There's posts on there, and there's a post over here. These posts go through these 2. And that's what this slides into. And those posts go down, and there's supposed to be a couple of square notches on the ends, and I broke those little squares off. I mean, I had to go in there and make sure that those little pieces of plastic weren't stuck in the gears, so there's nothing in there. They either fell out or whatever, but I took it all apart. There's nothing in there, so that's good. You don't want to get anything in your gears like that, because that's not going to be a fun thing. So I am waiting now. He is going to ship me some new wheel sets. So I'm going to get this ready to go, so when I get those, I'll have it apart and I can just slap it back together. And okay. There's one. And again, it just depends how comfortable you are with unsoldering stuff and all that kind of thing. So let me remove this little bit of tape in here, so I can pull those wires through a little easier. I was kind of hoping that my mistake, somebody else can learn from. Speaking with Mark, and you know, he was very helpful. I was probably on the phone over half an hour with him. He made sure I felt comfortable enough to do this. I'm not going to pull this out completely. I just want to pull this out so it's loose enough to want me to drop that truck down. So I'm going to figure out how I'm doing that. I have to take this, take the weight off maybe. Trying to literally just pull the right only wires that I need out through here. Alright, I think that's enough for that. We got the motor mount wire here. I'm trying not to pull that off. So I'm thinking what I need to do here is pop off the gear cover. There we go. Sure, I think I'm gonna end up having to pull these through though. Let's get this out of my way so I can drop the truck down. My guess is I'm going to have to take this out of the column. Well, I do have it apart. I'm going to make sure there's no, I mean, there's plenty of grease on the gear. So now we have the truck apart. Put some grease in here, clean that out, make sure there's nothing in the gear. Now that that's out of there, you can see the clips that are down in here. There's 3 of them along here on either side of these bars. Try to unclip that. And then they're just basically like the clips on the old style locomotives, like any other locomotive. Alright guys, so I got the truck apart. What I'm going to do here is try to clean up some of this extra grease. So as like I was saying, there's these square posts here. There's 4 of them. So I'm going to turn this upside down, maybe you can see a little better. I'm going to take the side frames off so I get the wheels out. So I'm just going to gently kind of pry against. I'll pop that out. Okay. You can see the little holes there. There and there. That is where these posts right here, when this is in, this goes up through and through these posts. See that? I mean, it's kind of generic the way I got it sitting there now, but that's the idea of it. Hopefully this video will help somebody else not make the mistake I made. Number 1, of flattening any wheels, as well as not breaking these little posts and stuff. I'll pull these out. And just like anywhere, obviously you want to use your wheel gauge to make sure that your wheels are in gauge. You know, I will do that when I get my new wheel sets to make sure. I am looking at these to make sure these gears aren't split, and that's the reason, but it's not the case. It's gonna be hard to see, but right here, and directly across there, all 6 of these directly in the same spots, directly across from each other, have these flat spots. So it was being drugged. That's got to be the issue. And you know, Scale Trains was nice enough not to judge me over it, which is awesome. They weren't, you know, they didn't have an issue with it at all. Like I said, they're sending me new wheel sets, and he said they do come with, you know, all come together there, so it has, you know, the gears and everything attached. It comes as is. I mean, as one piece. So, you know, basically, when I get those, I'll do another update on putting it all back together, and that's going to be it. When I was looking for a video on how to take these things apart and get into this, to take these wheels out for a Scale Trains locomotive, I did not see anything. But that's the good, the bad, and ugly. That's what it is. Thanks for watching. Happy railroading. Don't be a knucklehead like I am. Bye. Okay guys, I got all my parts from Scale Trains. They sent me some axles. There's a part number on that. So they had those in stock. And when I told them what I did with the side frames, remember I was showing you that I broke off the little clips. He said he wasn't sure if he had any, but what ended up happening was he was able to find a pair of trucks. I got the rear trucks, and he also sent me the front truck here as well. That's what we're going to work on today. I'm just going to replace that front truck. The wheels are pretty self-explanatory. I'll just show you real quick. This was the old front truck. I have just a wheel set here. And the 3 of them go in, you know, one at a time into the little gear set. They only go in one way. They have the seat down in there. And yeah, then the gears are spinning there. I added a little bit of grease just because I have it open. I use this Atlas gear grease as part number 190. So I ended up using the side frames from the old truck. They were good still, the ones that I didn't break. So, and again, they go back together. Here's the bottom plate. Slide the truck in. The side frame of the truck goes in. And then these little pieces here. There we go. So it goes together like that. Right there, they slide right into these. Then when you put the bottom on, you see them inside here. There's where these clips go, and it just clips right back in, right together like that. And that would hold these side frames on, but because those clips are broke, that's going to pull right out. If the clips weren't broke, it would not pull out. Those little posts go in and hold it. Anyways, let me tip this camera down. We'll look at the project on the bench here. Let's get this going. Okay. So now you have your new truck. So you want to make sure your wires are on the right side. It's going to go in the right way. You have your shaft that goes into the flywheels here, and then you have your worm gear. So like I said, I did add just a tiny bit of grease. You don't want to get carried away with the grease. But since I had it open, I mean, it's brand new, it shouldn't need any, but because I had it open, I decided I was going to use it. Just because, why not? I'm hoping to never have to do this again. A bonehead mistake. So I gotta get this wires up through the frame. Come on. There we go. You want to make sure they're on the correct side of the frame. Okay, see that? And then now, of course, you want to get your worm gear in here. And again, this is kind of like the truck frames too, where you have these little square nuts. They have to go in just right, and then it slides right in there. Okay. Make sure your wires aren't bound up or anything around anything. I'm gonna kind of flip this over a little bit just to check where I'm at down here. So get those off to the side, and now what I do with my clip. Clip only goes on the one way. Always make sure it's, you know, clean, nothing in it. want to make sure you got nothing in your gears. And that just clips right back on. Clip. Make sure your truck is, rotating freely, and mine is. It seems good. Okay, now the fun part, in my opinion, is going to be this. Put the weight back. Okay, so there's a hole in the weight too, right back here. You can see it right there. See that hole right there? So your truck wires, you want to snake up through there, feed up through there. One. I'm trying to help you guys out. I don't know if this is going to be helpful or not, but I couldn't find any videos on doing this. When I talked to Scale Trains, they said they didn't know of any. You want to get your light bar back in there too for your ditch lights. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, you remember we had to take the screws out. I'm going to screw this back in. So I think it's going to be easier because I'm going to have to do some moving around and screw the weight back in. This way that's all secured. I'm not worried about wires popping out from there. Okay, so now the tricky part is going to be, so I gotta feed them up through underneath this light bar. Yes, right up here. Gotta get it up in between where these other wires are at. So let me do that. I'm going to pause while I do that because it's just gonna be hard to show you anyways because it fits, it's just tight. Okay, so now if you remember, the black goes over here to there, black. Right over on this side is the red. It will read truck right, TR, and TL for truck left. Now if you get confused, you can take pictures as you go too. So you got your black and then your red. But touch the board and solder it in place. Now hopefully you guys can see that because it's kind of same basic thing. Just a quick touch to the board to melt that solder, and then there you go. You're on there. There we are. So that's a matter of neatening it up. You can see down in here where all these wires are. I'm going to tuck these down in. Make sure we have enough slack for the trucks to move freely. Nice free truck play. So now the only thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I don't have that special tape, I'm just going to take a little piece of Scotch tape and it's seriously just to hold these wires kind of in their spots. You know, just kind of going over that little channel. Keep those from popping out or anything. Now, put the shell back on, make sure all my lights are in place. The shell has to go back on. Now the fun part with the shell is you have all these sanding lines on it. So have to get those down past certain parts of the shell, I mean of the frame. It's all good, just matter slowly work them down through as you put the shell on. Okay, I feel like I got that pretty well where it needs to be. So you just want to make sure your sanding lines are freed up, in place, where they need to be. Looks good, looks good. And then, let's get this in the... Okay, and then you have your couplers. Go back in like any other coupler. And make sure you get past all these hoses with your coupler box. Okay. Okay, so front coupler's on. Let's get this rear coupler in here. Same basic principle as the front. Just gotta get my big fat fingers to work with me here. Get in there, screw back in. And this is most of you guys, I'm sure, know how to do this. You don't need me to teach you. Most of your shells on these locomotives, no matter what manufacturer, most of them come off of the truck or off of the frame with just using the couplers. Once you take those off, most of the time you can get the shell off. So that's that. Go back together, all ready to go. That's really it, guys. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I love the product. I like the customer service is great. The product is great. It is a great design to hold the trucks in and keep everything nice and together, and so you don't have any worries there. But down the road, you know, a couple years down the road, when you want to take it and do a little servicing to it, it's a little bit of a pain. So anyhow, that's what I know. I hope it was helpful. Again, I did not see any videos on that on YouTube or anywhere else for that matter, so I thought I would go ahead and make one. Hopefully that was helpful. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'll try to answer them best as I can. And that's it. Again, thanks for watching, and talk to you later.